out the things in life that matter most, but keeping those things organized can be a real problem. That's where Tanya Tomlin, professional organizer and founder of Sort It Out, and Nicole Arnold, interior designer and founder of Nicole Arnold Interiors, come in. Between Tanya's passion for organizing and Nicole's eye for design, there's no telling how much a little structure and a lot of spackle can do. Welcome to Savvy, Wise, and Organized. And now, your hosts, Tanya Tomlin and Nicole Arnold.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again on this Tuesday, 9:30, Facebook Live, Savvy, Wise, and Organized. Nicole and I are so excited to be here again with you. Thanks for tuning in, and also would love to introduce our guest today, Elizabeth Scrivner with Park Cities Counseling. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
it's my blessing.
Excited.
We're just so excited because it's, after the holiday and everybody's like, okay, are we tired? Are we not tired? Are we just...
We're definitely tired.
Yeah,
let's all be honest here.
Yes.
We're all exhausted, but we're forging forward because probably fed and we have energy, so we're ready to go, but we're probably still recovering, I'm guessing, most of us.
We're on that first little hill of the roller coaster before the big one.
Yeah, yes.
So we're gearing up for Christmas stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a little ways to go for sure, but I'm just so excited because, we're talking about what we want out of life and our business and all these different things and what you do and just helping people in your business. I want to hear more about, why you got into this business.
Well, I was saying to some of your staff when I got here, I was a teacher. And I taught second grade and then I taught first grade. And in the process of that, I loved it, but I thought to myself, okay, I can't teach other people's kids all day. I just knew I couldn't do that all day and then come home and be like a rational, reasonable person. And I'm not even saying I'm rational and reasonable now. But I'm saying that would have just pushed me over. So I loved it.
Tough jobs.
I have so much respect for teachers and what they do. Love it and love them. And props to all of them. They're not watching. They're teaching our kids, Yes. But anyway, so I went back and got my master's in counseling. I knew I wanted to help. And counseling basically is just a different form of teaching. But I could pick my own hours. I could work with people in different ways. Maybe delve deeper into some of the things that I saw with families, kids, and really specialize and then go in all different avenues. So
right, and what you do is helping people. We all have something in our families, whether it's, family issues or different, like you grew up this way or that way, and, it's
nobody's
just,
perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's, I started saying this year, imperfectly perfect, constantly, and it's true.
Term.
And so many people think when they come into my office, maybe they're ashamed of something.
Right.
And I'm thinking, I've heard this for 20 years, but they're carrying it around like they're the only person. And I'm like, name somebody you think is perfect. I was like, because this is what I know. After 20 years, no one is.
Nobody.
And so everybody has something, and it could be something small or something very manageable. Some people just maybe need to change and decorate a room, and they need the motivation to do it.
Yeah.
And that really helps your mindset.
The emotions are amazing. The emotional reward from that is unbelievable.
Yes.
And it's so interesting how our businesses tie together, all three of us, because what we all do is we do help educate people along the way. I know your heart is that way. I have a teaching heart. And it makes a lot of difference to us and a great sense of fulfillment when we can teach people what we know in order for them to feel better. And then you see it in their eyes. Oh my gosh, what a difference.
Yes.
So whether it's through counseling, organizing, designing, it's all,
it is.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
It is. Because you walk in a room and it's all disorganized. And the color of the walls are for you, it doesn't even matter what color, that doesn't work for the person. And then for me, I come in and I'm like, well, if we do change this and change that and I bring something, then it changes their whole mindset.
Yeah.
Well, when they look forward to us coming, I look forward to her coming to my house. Well, sometimes
I was actually
if
just
it's
thinking,
a big project or something, it's so overwhelming. So I think that people feel like that, when they are seeking out therapy, it's just overwhelming. So
it's a reason not to, right? They
yes,
think
and it's one, the thing is, you don't have, right. And I want people to begin to think about counseling and therapy as something that you do preventatively.
Yeah.
So I
Great
have
idea.
Amazing clients. I always tell my clients, I start with this 80% of the time. I'm like, okay, we're going to start with this. you are smarter than I am, because many of my clients, literally their IQs are up here. Yeah. And I'm like, we're just going to tweak a few things here. I mean, I have a lot of that. I have so many women who come in my office and they're supporting so many people, from children, husbands, businesses, friends. They don't really actually, quote, need a therapist. They need support because they're carrying around and helping maybe parents, aging parents, and it's like, they're not sick, they're not crazy, they're coming in because they're an awesome, amazing person that needs support.
Right, and I always look at the moms that I work with, like, you're the CEO of your household, okay? So we have to all, like, be in cohesive together. I know when I've worked with you, and I work with other therapists as well, and we're all in this together to help make it a better place for them to live and be able, that's their work, is as a mom, you know, or even as a working mom.
Absolutely. It is, and when it's not organized, some of the things that I see where I delve in a little deeper could be with certain ways in which your brain works. And I don't have to focus on necessarily diagnosing people, and I don't focus on, oh, you have to have a diagnosis. I do personally have several, in my opinion, but one of them being, I know for sure my mom knew from the day I was born that I have ADD. And back in the day, it was ADHD, and back then it was not treated or named, and people think that it's just overused, but when I was spinning on my head and like walking on the stairs on my hands, and like, you know, back then you were supposed to sit still and look pretty, and my sister was doing ballet and playing the piano, and I was like a whirling dervish.
Yeah, you don't know how to do that though.
She goes, out with the sugar. So she started with, okay, change the diet. And now we're changing your sleep patterns, and we're, you know, so she put a bunch of things in place, because we really only medicated kids who were like throwing desks around the room back then. And so she wouldn't have probably medicated me anyway, but it became a way of life for me to figure out, how am I going to manage my life? And so one of the skills that I came up with as a little girl was not OCD, but being extremely organized. Because if everything didn't have a place, I'm not finding it. I'm not doing it. I don't remember that it happened or that it exists. So I have a wide variety of diagnosed or undiagnosed people with attention deficit issues.
That's so great, because you can relate to them. And, you know, for me and my business, we're trying to create the tools, just like you're creating tools for people, and how to make it, like for color, I know for ADD and ADHD.
Color influence is huge on emotions.
And light and sound.
And natural light.
Yes. Yeah. So
spatial orientation. I mean, there's so many things. It
really is. Yeah. And so it really is important for them to be able to reach out to you. They can come see me. We can figure out what it is. We can come up with a game plan. But it's kind of like when I walked in here, I knew where I put my purse. Like, I know where my water is, because, and I also checked twice, and I'm older now. But like, where did I park? Because honestly, it's like, when it's
I had
not
that
there,
problem. Where did I park?
Wait, where did I park? No, I try to park in the same spot so I remember.
So after they come to me and we figure out, okay, your brain works uniquely. And that's what I tell them. I'm like, first of all, it's, unless you have other diagnoses, if you just have ADD, and it is an umbrella with hyperactivity or non, that does not mean typically you have a high IQ. It's just, instead of thinking like this in a linear pattern, you think all over the place.
Well, and one of the great things about Sorted Out, and not a lot of people know this, so people watching, we actually hold a certification in ADD and ADHD. That's awesome. Chronic disorganization is such a big deal with our clients, so we find the right tools, and we map out how to organize for them, and we hold accountability for them. So that's something, so about 2 years ago, I became certified through the Institute for Challenging Disorganization, and a whole new passion opened up for me. For all these different types of people, just because I know that it's harder for them to be organized, and I feel so happy when I leave their homes or their businesses, because I know that we're providing the right tools. And we have the training, and we have the capabilities of keeping them organized.
Well, that's huge, because you can go in, and believe me, I've done it in my household, and I get everything where it's supposed to be. But if you don't teach them and hold them accountable, especially children, so starting young with children is essential. We can talk about that if you want. But if we're already dealing with adults, well, they have a lifelong history of not doing it. So having accountability to someone is huge.
You know, I think that's interesting and for your business too, because a lot of times you go in, how do you identify the different personalities, you know, when you're meeting with them?
We spend a lot of time up front interviewing our clients and getting to know them, because one of my personal feelings approaching my business is not just come in and impart my design style or my agenda on somebody else. I want to really know what's deep down inside of them and what's driving their need to call me.
So you know me deep down inside? Right? She works with me in my home.
Well. But right? if I don't do that, my solution's only going to be surface.
Right, that's so true.
If I get down to the heart of what's driving, when I was in sales a long time ago, we called it peeling back the onion. If we peel back the onion enough to find out what's at the core, then we will succeed and have a higher chance to succeed for a long time. Those people will enjoy that design. They won't get tired of it. It won't be too trendy. It's really going to deliver on a lot of different levels, emotional, physical, social levels, that they're going to enjoy for a long time.
And I believe that just in working with her in my home, I feel a sense of calm. We were just talking about this not long ago. Just having a place that are the right colors, having a place for everything, and then couple that with therapy, like, it's a great life, right?
It is. And I think one thing that you were hitting on, so I need to redo where I am. I mean, a lot of stuff needs to change. I mean, let's just talk about the fact, so I like to be organized, but if we were to take these cameras into my closets right now.
Yes, let's go.
So it gives me actually panic to think about that it's not done. But I'm going to I have 3 children, and I'm going to put them right now above those closets. So I can't do everything. And so what I was thinking is, and so since I can't do it though, I didn't call you, you know what I mean? And because it's like, well, I kind of need to be there, I feel like, or I don't, I'm not sure. And then I need to do some updating. Well, I need to call you and reach out for support. So it is the same. It's like, we need support people. You don't have to do it. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you have to do it.
That is so true.
We can't do it all.
Well, that's true. And you touch on something I wanted to bring up, overwhelm. And I wanted to ask you, because you're exemplifying, how do you get started with something? How do you see this daunting, or what seems like a daunting task in front of you, and you go, oh, I'll push it off because that's easier to do than try to take on this daunting task. When someone wants to explore some counseling and they feel that way, what is the best way for them to start?
Well, first is to find a safe person. So the majority of my clientele, they're referrals. So they're already coming from a space of knowing someone who's come to me or knows me, so they trust me. And then it just takes time. Some people are just ready because they're at a space they're like ready just to dump it all out there. And they just, first of all, it's trust. You need to know your therapist, and you need to go to a good one. You know, it's like a doctor. You gotta pick the right person.
Do your homework.
Do your homework. Because not all spaces are equal and not all are safe. And you go at your own pace. So your therapist should guide you. Everybody comes in with, quote, a presenting problem. And typically that's not where we're going to go. But we start there. And I always say to them, I don't have a plan. Since I have ADHD, I literally don't have a plan. Like a lot of therapists, they'll literally have a check sheet that they go through. No, I don't have time for that. That's just too boring. I want to get to know you.
It needs to be organic, is what you're saying. It has to happen organically.
Yeah, and I want to get to know you. Yeah, if that's the right word. I don't even know what that actually means in this sentence.
Well, you'll trust your sense on where to navigate the conversation.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah,
I totally go off of instinct, and yes, absolutely, I use that.
You know what I want to hear more about? I know that reading your bio, a fashion star for a cause, which provides education, prevention to stop suicide. I think that is you know, something that, for me, near and dear to my heart, having been, my brother committed suicide when I was 14, and I want to know more about this cause. And I think that, you know, not just getting what you want out of your business, but like if we want to help people and we want to, you know, share this with the world, you know, how tell me more about your passion for this.
Yes. So Fashion Stars for a Cause does exactly what you just said, and the goal is to stop suicide. And 2.5 years ago, I lost my stepson to addiction. And I started backtracking and just trying to figure it out. And that was, so for
sorry.
the past, thank you too as well. So I went last year to Fashion Stars for a Cause, the gala, and Terry Bentley Hill spoke about prevention and spoke about her own story. And she said it starts with, she said, I lost people in my life to mental health.
Right.
And right there, and I just got the chills again, and I said, I'll do it. I'm in. Wasn't even asked to do anything, by the way. I was just sitting at the table, glad to be there, and just so thankful.
Wow.
And the next day, Yvonne Crum asked me if I would be a fashion star, and I said yes. Had I not heard her story, and she made such a huge impact, I would maybe have said no, because I'm like, once somebody's gone, you can't do anything, so why would I try?
Right.
But now that I know that we're going to backtrack maybe to addiction, or we're going to do mental health, or how about this? We're going to do prevention. Oh, then I'm in.
So great.
And so that's really what got me passionate and focused. And so from now until March, I will be raising money, doing things like this show, coming on, speaking with you all about preventing these things. I am so passionate about stopping the added stress on people, on our children. It has to stop. If we are setting these unrealistic expectations, we cannot prevent and stop, and then ultimately not have people that are not here that we love dearly.
Out of control.
Well, and I think this is a great cause, and I know we only have about 5 more minutes, so you know, I wanted to talk about that just because I think with, you know, Park City's counseling and, you know, with your past personal experience and kind of coupling all that together.
Absolutely.
I think it's so important to support each other. And so whatever we can do to help support you with that,
I'd love to be part of it.
I'd love to learn more about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I'm so thankful for the time, because I think it really is a God thing. And, you know, we, you know, met you for a reason, and we're all, you know, obviously in business for ourselves, but we want to help people. And I think
we're all serving a greater purpose, you know, and that's important to remember and ground ourselves with. And that's where we gain our momentum. I think with everybody that we've interviewed and that we partner with on a regular basis over the years, there's that common thread that we are doing this for a greater purpose and not just for self-interest.
Yeah.
No,
you know,
absolutely not.
And we just enjoy so much. I think we don't all slow down enough to learn more deeply about one another. And it's always just business and this, you know what I mean? So I think this is just such a great opportunity for us to learn more about you and your business and your passion. I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
glad to be here, and so glad it came up and I got to talk to you and learn about both of you.
Yeah. So, okay, so they deem if someone deems that you are a safe place for them to go, then we need to get them in touch with you.
Yes. So I have a website.
Okay.
It's parkcitiescounseling.com.
Okay.
They can look at my Instagram. All my stuff is there.
Okay.
Elizabeth_Scrivner. And then America's Therapist is a Facebook that I have, or Park Cities Counseling PC.
Okay.
So
very good.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Well, I'm just so excited to have that opportunity today and just, you know, have that connection. So. So grateful for that. Yeah. And thank you all for joining us on Facebook Live today for, I think this is our 5th podcast.
Yeah.
Right? Yay! So thank you for tuning in. We so appreciate you guys, and keep watching and keep learning with us. And Nicole and I are just so happy to have this opportunity with you this morning.
This is bringing a lot of value to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was
Thanks for listening to Savvy, Wise, and Organized. To find out more about Tanya or how she can help you organize your space, visit her website at www.sortedout.com. To find out more about Nicole or how she can help you with your interior designs, visit her website at www.nainteriors.com. And if you want to hear more from Savvy, Wise, and Organized, subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. From all of us at Savvy, Wise, and Organized, thanks for listening.